Hi folks, it's a beautiful Friday at lunchtime actually on the 23rd of December, and we're in Santa's workshop. Each year I'm blessed to make our two daughters and my wife something for Christmas. I've left things a little late this year, so needless to say I'm not making anything too technically challenging. And this is a rack that sits in, we have an old farmhouse with an antique clawfoot bathtub that we put in. So it sits in the bathtub like this and allows you to support whatever you would like and move it wherever you would like. She mentioned to her mother that she would like one of these for Christmas, if Dad could make her one of them. So today, Dad's gonna make her one of them. So I've decided to make the end pieces first. So I need to cut some 1/2 inch cedar at 7 inches long and 4 inches wide. There's a piece with enough clear material to do that. Let's go over to the sliding compound miter saw and cut out a couple of blanks. Let's make some cuts. So we've got our 2 blanks cut now. Next step is, how do we draw that radius on? I could put that on there and trace it, but then it's in the wrong place. So I'm just going to use a piece of cardboard and make a cardboard template. This is the template we cut out. So we'll just center it on here. Put a line across. So I've got all the lines laid out, traced. I'm going to put them both together with a piece of double-sided tape. That way when I cut them out, they match exactly. This was my father's old bandsaw. I just put a couple new tires on it and cleaned up the bearings, and away we go. And there we go. That part fits. Hi folks. Well, I forgot to film a little bit while I was making it, but I've got the 2 rails on, the 2 end pieces in, and I just had supper, so I've just popped back out to the shop now. I'm going to cut this excess glue off. I've got a nice little bit of squeeze out, not too much, but enough to know that to show that we had enough glue in place. So I'll cut all the squeeze out, then I'm going to turn it over, measure the strips, and we're going to put the bottom in. Well, we've cut all the glue off. Now we're going to measure some slats and put them in place. So the first one, they're supposed to be 7/8, and they are pretty close. That's right on 7/8. Should be 22 inches long, and it is. So now I'll go rip some pieces 7/8 by 22. Well, now that we've got all the strips fit, or all the strips ripped, I'm going to make sure that they fit in just perfectly, because there aren't any fasteners used in this whatsoever. It's all just glue. And I'm using Elmer's Pro Bond Max interior exterior. It's a waterproof glue. I use it building canoes. It colors quite nice with a cedar, and it holds very, very well. Okay, so we'll see how they fit. And what's really fun here is the plane I'm going to use is a little block plane. I bought it in an auction sale last summer, and it was rusted beyond belief. So I polished it all up and sharpened the iron, and you know what? It works just great for this. I love old tools. This sliding T-bevel was my great Uncle Tom's, actually. I was going to say Joe, but it was my Uncle Joe who gave it to me. It was his brother-in-law, Uncle Tom. Anyways, Uncle Tom died when I was 12 years old, and I inherited from Uncle Tom one of his tackle boxes with some fishing tackle, an old hunting coat, which I was wearing when I shot my first deer, and a Coleman stove. And I still have the Coleman stove, still have the tackle box and the fishing tackle, and the coat, sadly, it fell apart. So it's long gone. Anyways, that was my great Uncle Tom's, and he used to build boats. He used to build wooden runabouts. Okay, so I'm just going to shave this down a little bit so it fits in snug, but not too tight. We don't want to split the cedar. We also want to leave some room for a little bit of glue. And the plane's just a little too aggressive for that soft cedar. Pull the iron back a bit. Number 5. Clamping it wasn't working out too well, so I'm just going to wrap some masking tape around to hold it tight. Well, time sure flies when you're having fun. This is the bathtub rack, little shelf, whatever we call it. It's done. There's the little piece that goes in. Give it a flat shelf on the bottom. Slides back and forth. I'm going to give it a coat of spar varnish tonight, and hopefully a couple of coats tomorrow. I'll be out early tomorrow morning. Give another one, and then hopefully one in the afternoon. And that'll be it. It'll be all done. Isn't it amazing how long it can take to build something? Hi folks. So we've cut some slices of white ash. These are just more coasters for my wife. This is from a small tree that I had to take down when I was working on the bush last winter. So I saved about the first 4 foot of the butt and just put it overhead in the shop here and let it dry all winter. And I knew each end would check a lot. But hopefully the center part here, and it does look quite stable. I don't see any checks whatsoever. So I'm giving her a sand with, start off with 60 grit, then I'll work way up to probably 150. And hopefully remove all the saw marks from the bandsaw. Isn't that beautiful? How it highlights the grain. White ash is one of the most beautiful woods. Try to do the edge first to try and make sure I have enough in there to hold the bark in place. There we go. It looks nice. Well, Christmas Day is coming past, and here are some of the gifts that we made this year. This is that bathtub rack or tray or shelf, whatever we want to call it, that we made for our daughter to sit in the bathtub and prop up her iPod or iPad, telephone, food, snack, coffee, tea, wine, whatever. It's all local white cedar that I sawed in the sawmill. And there aren't any fasteners, it's all just fit. And these coasters are from a white spruce we cut down years ago. And I saved some of the limb wood because of the unique grain pattern on it. Isn't that beautiful? And this is some white ash that I harvested last winter in the bush when I was logging. It was a little tree that was in the way. So when I knocked it down, I saved about 4 foot of the butt, put it overhead in the shop to dry, and got it out this winter and made these coasters for my wife, and some more spruce over there. And this bowl is something I turned from a burl I found in the woods when I was logging in a maple bush years ago. And this sleigh I made last year for my dear wife. It's patterned after an antique sleigh we have here on the farm. And it's all white ash, a little bit of stain on it to bring out the contrast in the grains. Steam bent the runners. Well, we hope you enjoyed the video. And we hope you had a wonderful Christmas with your family. And we wish for you a healthy, happy, and prosperous 2017. Thanks so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again on Out of the House with Paul.